I want everybody to say, talk to me then, what? 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 Lay, talk to me then, what? Talk to me then, what?
Welcome, people of Earth. Obviously, I've now noticed it has actually come to my attention that I got love from all over the world. So now my content is no longer tailored to South Africa. It's tailored to the world. Welcome back. This episode is very interesting, with a very interesting topic. As you can see, I'm back in my suit. This time I'm no longer in the American style. I'm in the English style. I mean, the nation colonized us, so at least take one thing that's good about them. Anyway, without sticking on that, at least they got it right, the English style. I actually prefer the English style rather than the American style because, if you got fresh ankles, when people who, this is how you know when God paid attention when he was creating someone. Even the ankles are not a problem. And I'm not afraid to show it. So, today's topic is something that's kind of personal in a way, of which a lot of you hopefully will relate to, because there are some people, firstly, who claim that they have haters and enemies. And then when you look at the person, you don't even have to look at the enemies or the haters. You just you already have an idea of the type of haters. Maybe it's not even haters, it's a hater. Just because there's one thing that you're good at that hater is not good at. And then you have people who have haters, but it's because maybe you graduated, maybe you broke maybe you broke a record, maybe. Just those, the usual, graduated, matriculated, let's just add the masters and honors and PhDs, just those kind of things, the usual. And then you get haters and enemies who hate you and pride themselves in being your enemy because you broke a generational curse. And obviously a generational curse, in order for it to have power and for it to be noticed, you need to talk more about it. People need to say something about that curse, right? So I'm just gathering everyone who claims they have haters and enemies. Now there's this phrase, maybe I might not say it properly, but obviously you'll know what I mean. That you're living a good life, or everything is well when you have haters and enemies. Now, if you don't love the fact that you have enemies and haters, rather just click subscribe and like, and then just don't listen to the rest of what I have to say. But to those who pride themselves in having enemies and haters, this is for you. Because my topic is not going to be, if you have haters and enemies, that means you have a good life or everything is going well. My topic is, if you have haters and enemies, let me try and put this correctly. If you have haters and enemies, that means that you basically getting a gentle, humble reminder. Now, let's expand on that. If you have haters and enemies, it's a reminder that you either don't actually know yourself, or let me phrase it this way. If you have haters or enemies, it's a reminder that you actually haven't reached your full potential. Now, what do I mean by that? There are some people who there are some people who if they get hated on something, but they actually don't know, or it's something that hasn't crossed their mind that there's something that they're good at doing, but they haven't noticed that they're actually good at doing that. Now, an example is maybe, let me just use a very, very easy example. If maybe you're good at something, let's say maybe you just fast. You just fast. Everything you do, you just quick, fast. Boom. Speed, 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 speed. That's your motto. Speed. Now, at the time that has been brought to your attention, obviously, if you stay with adults, or let's just say the elderly take advantage of the fact that you do everything quickly, you do everything fast, you do everything with speed. And then they're like, hey, if you want to get something done, tell this guy, or tell this girl, or no, tell this man, or tell this woman. Then it seems like it's a curse, because you prefer doing things fast, you prefer doing things quickly, and you prefer doing things with speed. Like you just Sonic the Hedgehog. But when it's brought to your attention, people take advantage of it. Until someone actually tells you how it is a superpower, or makes you understand that you can actually use it as a superpower. Now, whilst you're using that example of speed and doing things quickly and fast, let me give you an example of how you can use it as a superpower. Something that I actually do. I think this example is about myself. Now, before I get into why I'm saying it's an example of myself, because those who know, maybe before I got out of high school and varsity, they will tell you that I was one of the laziest people. Like I do everything slow, chilled, like there is no rush whatsoever. And it doesn't bother me. And if there's nothing to do, I sleep. Right? So they'll tell you that. Okay, I'm just into it, so I'll just rather carry on with that. So now when I say that I do everything quickly and do everything fast, jumping into my next point, now all of a sudden, if I'm assisting someone who knows or who has that picture, or who remembers that I am slow, lazy, love sleeping, then obviously to them they think, oh, okay, well, this is gonna take 3 months, sarcastically, like when they being sarcastic. But now when I'm assisting them, all of a sudden they're like, you done already. So jumping into the next point, which is the initial point, which is doing everything, the example of doing everything fast and quickly with speed. You see, if you're a business owner, or if you're an employee, and it doesn't bother you that they take advantage of the fact that you do everything with speed, like you fast and quick at everything, it's your superpower, because they know you are the most effective. And if you do everything fast in a lazy way, then you're more efficient, because not a lot of effort needs to be added onto whatever, or not a lot of effort needs to be, you don't have to use a lot of your energy to achieve said result. or you can be competent. Now, if effectiveness, efficiency, and competence, if you've been seeing my content, you know that those are the words that I usually use. And it's just basically how I do things now. I either try to be more effective, I try to be more efficient, or I try to be more competent or competitive. Whatever word you want to use between competent and competitive, it's the same thing. Now, jumping back to the topic, you haven't reached your full potential because some people have noticed that there's a skill that you possess, or there's something that you do that you haven't done. There's two things. I'll start with this one. It's either you haven't done something, you don't know that you can do something, or you don't know that you are skilled at something. So it's either when they hate, they try to shame you for that skill or for that particular thing that you're good at doing, right? And then when they shame you for it, they do it in a way that when you do realize that this is your skill, or this is what you're good at doing, when you do realize, or when it comes, or when it makes sense in your mind, by the time you think, oh, so this is what they were talking about, you already gonna shame it yourself. So that's the first point of you haven't reached your full potential, because you don't know that you possess the skill, but at the same time, at the time it comes to your attention, it's been brought to your attention, or it makes sense in your mind that this is the skill that I possess. By the time it makes sense in your mind, you already gonna shame that skill, and you're no longer gonna consider it as a skill, rather you're gonna consider it as a curse. Now, the other part, because I said there's two ways of thinking of this. The other part is if you come across people, if you believe in this, you believe in it, and if you don't, you don't, so you won't understand, but maybe you'll have an idea. There are some people who claim they can predict the future, or they see the way you move. They see the way you move, that this person might potentially be a something, or do something, or be good at this. Maybe you are on the right path, but you don't know the destination is yet. And then the person, obviously those haters, either are able to read people or read in between the lines, or they are more older than you are, because now it's a pattern that they used to, or either experience. They see the way you move, and then they come to realize that there's another person who's good at this. And obviously, if they're a hater of yours, or they're an enemy of yours, or they're a hater of what you're good at doing, or an enemy of what you're good at doing, or skill, again, they're going to shame you for it. So that by the time you reach the actual destination, you already consider it as a curse, and you're no longer considering it as a skill. So that's what I mean when I say, if you have enemies and haters, I'm not going to use the phrase, then you're living a good life or everything is going well, but you haven't reached your full potential. Now, as you can tell, this topic is very, very serious, because a lot of people, well, who claim they have enemies and haters, at least they'll be able to relate to what I'm talking about. So that is why I had to go all English style on you guys, because it's all serious. Now, just to conclude this whole thing, if someone is shaming you for something, whether you know they are your hater or they are your enemy, first try and recognize, why are they shaming it? And then after you've recognized or thought about why they're shaming it, then look at the person. Because that also counts. Looking at the person also counts. Because if you're gonna look at a person and it's a person that maybe you don't look up to, then obviously their opinion is not gonna matter to you, whether they're successful or not. Because there are some smart people who were unfortunate that they get to live the life of being homeless. But when you listen to what they say, they actually make more sense than those who quote a crypto pump, these crypto dogs. So look at the person. If it's a person that you're looking up to, or moves with the people, or is in the same industry with the person or people that you look up to, then again you're gonna go back to, why are they shaming it again? Then hopefully you come with an answer that you're gonna take or consider as constructive criticism. So if you have haters or enemies, you haven't reached your full potential.
I want everybody to say, talk to me then, what? Talk to me then.